actually was not interested in STEM for a career at all, but my two older sisters were on the Huskie Robotics team and they persuaded me to join. I wasn't that interested in it, but as freshman year went on, I started to get more involved with and I just kind of fell in love with STEM.
A lot of the people I was inspired by are doctors that I saw in a clinical environment growing up, one of whom is my mother. Seeing that the difference that these people are making on the lives of others is really impactful into me wanting to become a doctor myself. Seeing those patient interactions had already sparked a passion within me.
My sisters are both medical, so I always thought I had to do something medical because they did it. And so for a while, the first few years of high school, I thought that I was going to go into medicine. Sophomore year, my mom is a middle school teacher, and they had an FLL team, and none of the teachers wanted to coach it. So my mom stepped up knowing nothing about FLL and coached the team. And Huskie Robotics students came in and talked to her, and they showed what they do at the robotics level in high school, and my mom forced me to join robotics. And that's kind of how I ended up here.
I did woodshop in 9th grade, and my woodshop instructor was the robotics coach at the time, and he said, I think you should try robotics. I think you'd really like it, and here I am. I really loved it. It's how I knew I wanted to study mechanical engineering as my degree.
While there is an effort being made to highlight women and highlight their voices, that many times they kind of get trampled underneath the volume of the men who are speaking. And so it's been really cool to be part of efforts like the Red Chair movement or our Women in STEAM conference and see that we're really making an effort to highlight women's voices, and because it is true that that exists, and I've seen it both in the hospital environment and within school and this team environment.
I had an authority position as a feature project manager, but a lot of times when people had a question about my feature, they would go to a man standing next to me instead of me. And so obviously that made me very frustrated because it was my feature. I had to stay calm, and I went to the attention of people saying, hey, just this is my feature, and if you have a question about it, you can totally ask me.
My great aunt kind of broke gender norms. She was a really good artist, and so she was the first generation in her family to go to college, and she was the first ever woman to go to school at the Art Institute when I was at school. And I just look up to her and think that's really cool that she was able to be the first.
My current role models, students that I get to mentor, especially the young girls on the team, I wish I had known half the things they know when I was a high schooler.
When a little girl will pick up our picture book in future years, she'll see, a little girl and a little girl of color pursuing STEAM. And I think it's important that we keep taking on projects and initiatives like that and taking these steps forward to make sure that every girl and every woman feels comfortable in this field and feels as though they have a spot.
I want people to not say, oh, they're an engineer, what's his name? It shouldn't be a default reaction. It should be anyone can be anything, and we don't have to assume a default.
And putting in the effort and just being a good team is what matters the most.
Put yourself out there and try things, because you don't know if you want to go into something or if you enjoy something until you try. Because I would never thought that I wanted to do engineering until I put myself in this uncomfortable situation of being the new person on a team.
When you're made to feel less than in kind of an all-male environment or in your engineering career or in your classes, that it's not your fault. Sometimes you can feel like, oh, I'm getting different treatment, I need to change, and that's not the case.
Don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. As a girl, as a woman of color, you probably have gone through more struggles than anyone else around you, and if there's anyone who's able to do great things and challenging things, it's you, because you know the hardships it's taken to get there.